Hey everybody, Chris Bober here with Team Bober Nebraska Realty, and today we're coming to you live here in Omaha, Nebraska, and we're going to continue our series of talking about the cost of selling your house. Again, so many people understand that they're going to have to bring money to the table to buy a house. What they don't understand is that there's actually a cost, or today we're going to talk about the investment of preparing your home for sale, right? So today we're going to talk about the cost of selling your home, the cost of preparation. Now, of course, we talk about our mission is to educate and empower our clients to make great real estate decisions. We're living up to those standards today, definitely. And this is a 4-part series. Last week, we talked about the cost of sale. So this week, we talked about the cost of preparation, but for these purposes, I'm going to call it the benefit of preparation, all right? Believe me, there is much more benefit of putting the money into your updates and your upgrades on your home before you put it up for sale than do it live afterwards, which is what we're going to talk about next week. So as we go through this, I believe success occurs when opportunity meets preparation. It's a famous quote by Zig Ziglar. There's been a lot of quotes like that. But preparing your house for sale, following these guidelines, is going to get you a much better result. You're going to be a lot happier in the end with what you get. Okay? So let's talk about preparing your home for sale. And there's a few areas I want to focus on. And again, this is all of what you're going to put into your home before you sell it. Now, there is a cost with these. If you go and buy a new fixture or paint or whatever it is, there's a cost, but there's also your time that you're going to put into it. So the first one is going to be about maintenance and structural aspects of your house. We're also going to talk about updating to current standards, and then we're going to talk about mastering the first impression. Again, this is all the things that you do before you put that sign in the yard and put it up for sale. All right, so for maintenance and structure, you really want to focus on the integrity of the home, right? That means you want to do everything in your power to make the buyer feel like when they come in there, they're getting a great buy because the home's been taken care of. There's a few different ways to do this. Again, to protect and preserve. You know, that's buyers want to know that their home has been taken care of, and then there's things in place that when they buy the house, it's gonna be okay for a while. Okay, one of the great things to do is to look at your exterior. Now, paint, roof, siding, and gutters. To have your house painted, to have the roof taken care of if you have a claim, have that fixed, to always take care of the exterior of your home, because remember, you want to protect and preserve moisture and things from getting inside of your house and causing major damage, especially when it's unseen. But to protect your house from the outside, to kind of put a protective barrier around it is definitely helpful. Windows. I can't tell you how many times windows are a big deal, and they usually don't come up until after there's a contract and it's been inspected. So go around, and if you have wood windows, you definitely want to check the seals. You want to make sure that the caulk is redone. You want to paint it. If there's any sort of moisture that gets inside those windows, it just deteriorates from the inside. You want to make sure your windows are up to speed. And you also, if they are not, you want to start having a plan in place to start replacing or repairing them before it comes up in an inspection. Mechanical, another big part. Again, we're talking about the guts, the bones of a house. Your HVAC unit, it really helps to have a service plan in place to where someone comes out once or twice a year and checks the HVAC. Appliances, a warranty on that, or just to kind of put new ones in there to make sure they work. Those are a major deal. And of course the garage, you kind of ignore it because you put your car out there, but make sure you keep that up too. Garage doors, things like that are a pretty big deal. All right, so going along there, that's kind of the things that people look for, the integrity of the house. Now we're going to talk about kind of the decor. Okay, and this is what I call updating your home, and you want to focus on keeping up with your competition. I'm not talking about keeping up with the Joneses. I'm talking about the houses in your neighborhood that are selling. If they have granite countertops and stainless steel appliances and the bells and whistles, when you put your house up for sale, you're going to pale in comparison to them. On the other side of that is if you're in a neighborhood that does not have those things and you have them all, you might have wasted your money updating way beyond the scope of that. So your goal is to be as comparable as possible to the properties in your neighborhood. You don't really want to be that much better because you will sell for more, but maybe not as much as you invested in the upgrades. Okay, and you don't want to be below it because then you actually sell for way below what it would cost to upgrade it. Because if a buyer has to buy your house and do upgrades, they don't just take off what they're going to put into it. They want some for their time too and for their investment. All right, so number one, update your kitchen to the neighborhood standards. It's kind of common sense that when someone walks into a house, they see the kitchen as one of the main assets of the home. People spend more time in their kitchen than anywhere else. So again, if you don't have granite countertops, stainless steel, painted woodwork, if that's not in your neighborhood, you don't have to have that. You just have to have about what everyone else has. Make it look nice, make it look good. But if you are behind, you need to start working and making a plan in place to update. Okay? The next one is going to be the master bathroom. Women live in their master bathroom. So I'm not saying you have to have a luxury master bathroom, especially if don't live in a luxury neighborhood. But I promise you, a woman is going to judge your master bathroom the second she walks into it, because they're in there doing their hair and makeup and all these things all day long. And they're going to be spending a lot of time in there. They want something nice. So make it very functional, make it nice. Don't overdo it, but make it nice. What I have found when it comes to updating your house so many times, to have the walls painted, to have the floors either cleaned or redone, is probably the best investment you can make. The best, cheapest, highest return is to just get the walls painted, just get some new flooring, or to have the flooring cleaned or redone. I can't tell you how nice that makes your house look for just a little bit in there. So when it comes to updating, again, you're not trying to get beyond your competition. You want to get right up to them so that you're very comparable. All right, so now another thing we want to talk about, remember, we're talking about trying to get your house prepared for sale. You want to master the first impression of your house. So you never get a second chance to make a first impression. It's something I tell my clients all the time. And interesting enough, buyers often decide if they like your home within the first 2 minutes, right? So from the minute they drive up, they park their car, they get their agent, and they walk inside. Most of the time, they've decided whether or not it's even on the list. And if you don't make the cut, they won't even go in. That's why we tell our buyers to drive by a house before even taking us there to show it to them, because so many times they'll drive by and they don't want to look at it. Okay, first impression is a big deal. Some tips for this. Number one, the drive up. As they drive up or drive by, you want to make sure that they feel inviting. Okay, it doesn't have to be complicated. Actually, simpler is better. So have your mulch beds cleaned out and put fresh mulch down. It doesn't have to be all new mulch, just a fresh coat on there. Have the bushes trimmed, have the grass clean, the sidewalks edged. It's not super hard, but you want to make sure it's just clean and people aren't turned off by it as they drive up and they pull in the driveway. So next thing, they pull in the driveway or park in the street, and they're going to walk up to your house. Now they're getting a little bit closer of a look at the exterior of the front of your home. So this is where you want to make sure that it's very clean and simple. Again, have a nice little, you don't have to have an elaborate garden out there, but have something nice in front of your house. Keep it up. The front door. So you cannot believe either getting or painting your front door, how much of a first impression that makes for people when they walk up to your house. And then of course, as they go into the house, they're up there, the agents get the lockbox and the key out. They're spending the most time kind of studying, how does this make me feel? And they're gonna go in the door. Couple things. You can't believe how many people don't have a doorbell that works. Get your doorbell fixed, right? It's a small thing, but a buyer will judge your house whether or not your doorbell works. I don't know why, because they probably figure if it doesn't work, you don't take care of other things too. Make it clean. And another thing, when you look to talk about first impressions, and this is where you want to keep the inside clean and take care of this, the first smell of the house is a really big deal. Okay, as they walk in, they want to smell something nice, but not overpowering. They don't want to smell animals. They don't want to smell mold, mildew. Make it a good first impression when they walk in. So these are all the things that you're going to do when it comes to getting your house ready for sale. And these are things that you can do for years up to this. And just, I try to tell people, when you have a house, always keep in mind when you're going to resell it. You may never resell it, but always be prepared for that if you can. So let's look at some of the top home improvements that give you the most return on investment. So I looked all over the internet and I've seen these and experienced these personally, but here's one from Home Advisor that talks about some of the things. Attic insulation. You talk about updating, go in. If you only have a couple inches of insulation in your attic, go out and throw some more in there, hire someone to do that, and you're actually going to get more of a return on your resale than what you actually invest to put in there. That's pretty rare, right? For an entry door replacement, a nice, good, hard, heavy door, people love that. You're going to get almost all your money back. Putting some stone up, again, if it goes with the neighborhood, that's a big deal. Garage door replacement, a minor kitchen remodel. Again, you don't have to do a luxury one unless your neighborhood demands that, but that's going to give you a pretty good return, all the way down to some of the things that are less of a return. So there's a nice little list there. As you can see, a lot of it is kind of structural or maintenance things, right? They're not talking about making it pretty, they're talking about making it and adding to the integrity of your house in a lot of instances. I also wanted to pull up some of the things that have the least amount of return. Now, the thing to notice on here, the upscale returns really aren't that good, right? Adding a bathroom into your house, what they're saying is it's not a really good return because people, they don't need you to add another bathroom. An upscale bathroom, an upscale master suite, another upscale bathroom, and an upscale deck, those things give you the least amount of return because putting in upscale stuff that people don't necessarily need. Put in a minor bathroom or a minor master bathroom, you're gonna get a much better return. So as you look at this, a couple of just tips to finish this up here. What's the cost gonna be? You know, it's hard to put in dollars and cents. The last issue we did, we talked about a percentage for professional services or title. This is more about an investment, okay? So it's more about an investment. If you invest over time, it'll definitely ease the burden, right? So if you maintain your home over the years that you own it, when you go to sell it, you're not thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta put in all these things. Just add them as you go. You're gonna definitely get more enjoyment out of it, and it's gonna be ready to sell when you're ready to sell. A great example is windows. If your windows are starting to go bad, I would take and start replacing one when you can afford it, and just go down the list. By the time you sell it, you got new windows, you're in good shape. Again, you want to catch up to the neighborhood standard. You're not trying to go beyond your neighbors. You don't need to have the nicest house in the neighborhood. You need to have the most average house in the neighborhood. That's going to get you the most amount of money. So when you go to invest, look at that, because you're always thinking about your return on investment. Hey, I want to put in a home theater in my basement. Great. If you're going to live in that and enjoy it, go for it. If you're putting that in there, putting $25,000 into into a home theater and thinking I'm going to sell it and get my money back or more, it's not going to happen. People they don't care. The things they care about are the things we talked about. Always think about what you're going to be getting back for that. And the reason I went over this one before I talked about some costs is next week we're going to talk about the cost. I call it the cost of repair. It might well be the cost of regret, okay? Cost of preparation versus the cost of repair. We'll talk about that next week, and I'll show you some of these same examples that when they come up in a home inspection, they're way more expensive, and you're definitely under the gun, a lot more pressure, time's an issue. You definitely want to be investing in the return of your house before you sell it rather than while you're selling it, okay? So as always, our promise is to provide you with current and valuable information to help you guys understand the real estate market and process so you can navigate the marketplace. We definitely hope that if you're looking to buy or sell in the Omaha area, you're going to call the pros at Team Bober so we can tackle the market for you. Here's our contact information. You can personally call us or email us for anything. Here's my numbers, chris@nebraskarealty.com, jbober@nebraskarealty.com. For any information about the sales process or what we do or more about us, go to teambober.com. All the information is there. These videos, all of our information goes onto our blog site there too. So we hope you enjoyed this installment of preparing your house for sale, and we'll see you next week to talk about the cost after repairs for selling your house. Have a great day.